Welcome to another Pygamepi production. So to refresh, we went over if statements and the print function last time. The print function just prints out whatever you want to the console down here. And an if statement is just a way of checking variables and whatnot. So like here we're checking if num not equal to string, and if it's not equal, then if num is not equal to string, then we print people are crazy. If and then like here, then like the next one, if this isn't true, we'll jump down to the elif and it'll be num equals string, and if num equals string, then it'll print this works, or else it'll print stuff is broken. Yeah, that's just a refresher. So I'm going to be talking about loops this time. So the first loop is called a while loop. So how you type it out is just while and then num or some other variable not equal or equal, or like and there's other operators just besides that, and like you can use greater than or greater than equal, less than equal, or equal to, less than or equal to. So if num not equal 5, print num. And then to actually get this to work, you have to, so this argument says, well, num is not equal to 5, then do this stuff. So as of right now, num will never equal 5 because it up here it equals 0, and so we need to get num equal to 5. So down here we're going to do num plus equals 1. So this plus equals 1 means basically this. Here, we'll do it the long way first. So to do it the long way, you do num equals num plus 1. So you're setting num to whatever num is plus 1. So you're just adding 1 to num. Well, there's a shortcut to this, which is plus equals. And this does the exact same thing as num equals num plus 1. We're just adding 1 to num. You can also do 5 or whatever. Well, we're just going to do 1 for now. So now let's actually run this and see what it does. Okay, wait. Oh shoot. Okay, well that was a good example of what happens when you make an infinite loop. So yeah, we basically made an infinite loop, and so it crashed. So I'll close this and then load it back. Okay, I'm back. So I just realized what I did, and so we right here. Well, here let's. This is a good chance to use debugging. So let's debug. Okay, so let's just run through this line by line. So we first print it, and it comes out 0. So let's just keep going. So let's jump through this, and then oh it's 2. But we wanted it to only add 1 because. So right now we're actually adding 1 here, and then we're also adding 1 here, so it's counting by 2s. So when we actually get to the point, so now it's 4, so when we actually get to the point where it should be 5, we jump to 6. Therefore it skips 5, and so then we get the infinite loop, because right now this will never equal 5. Okay, so let's stop that. Yeah, so to stop debugging, you just hit this red stop button. Anyways, yeah, let's get rid of that, and now let's run it. Okay, so yeah, so we get 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we actually don't get 5, because with the while loop, once this argument is, once this argument is true, it'll stop and it won't do anymore. So if you want it to run at least once through it, there's actually a loop called a do while loop, and it's do. Okay, I'll get to that one later. I'll have to look it up. Like I said, I haven't done Python for like 5 years, so anyways, so another loop is called a for loop. So you go for, and then this one actually only loops a certain amount of time. So you have a variable, a counter variable, so for x in range, and then 0 to 10. So basically what this is saying is so x, the variable x, will start with the value of 0, and it'll loop 10 times, and it'll use x to keep track. So it'll increment x by 1, which you can actually change the increment, and we'll get to that in just a second. But for now, let's run this. So we're just going to print. Shoot, sorry, I can't type right now. Print x. Okay, so let's run this. So yeah, we get. I'm pretty sure we get 0, 0 through 9. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah. So and then with this stuff, because we started on 0, it is outputting 10 numbers, but see, it starts with 0, so it's only going to go to 9. So if you wanted to do 1 through 10, you do 1 and 11, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that'll get you 1 to 10. Okay, so I'll show you now how to increment by a different number. So basically you just add another argument to this range, and so I added 2, so it'll count by 2, and so down here in the output, after we run it, we get 1, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 2 is 5, and so we're incrementing by 2. And I'm kind of curious about what happens when you use 1. Okay, yeah, so it just adds by 1. It's a little interesting. Okay, so now after this, okay, so I guess there's actually not a do while loop in Python, so I can't really show you that. There is in other languages like C++, so we'll skip that. I may bring it up in a later video because there is a way to do it in Python, but let's not worry about that right now. And so the next thing I want to actually go over is variables, because I kind of forgot that. And so an integer, up here we have an integer. And to do like a comment, just like hashtag or pound, I like to call them pound signs. Hashtags are stupid. Anyways, so this is an integer, and then this one down here is a string. So an integer is just a solid number, just like that, just 0, 5, whatever. And then there's also strings, which is just a string of letters, just a group of letters or characters, or that kind of stuff. And then there's also one called a boolean, so we'll just call it like boolean. Here we'll call it true, false. So basically a boolean is true or false. So false. There we go. Okay, so yeah, with a boolean is either true or false, nothing else. So you have to either set true or false. So we set this to false. You have to use a capital letter like false to tell it that it's false. If you use a lowercase number, it'll just yell at you. Some other ones are floats, and it's like float none equals 1.5, and so float is actually like a decimal number. It's called a float decimal point number or something like that. But basically it's just a number, but it can have a, it doesn't have to be just like 0 or 1. Doesn't have to be a whole number. It can have a decimal in it. There's some other ones like an array. It's like let's just call it pi list. And to do an array, you get some brackets, and like to do an array of strings, you just type some strings out like this. Crazies, and just you can have however many you want in it. You don't have to like specify it in Python. But yeah, there's a basic list in Python of just some strings. You can also do it with booleans or floats, numbers, whatever you want. You just put them in there just like this or whatever. Oh, I forgot to go boo again. Float array. So an array is basically just a list of objects or variables. A list of variables or objects, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, and then with like, so if you just want to like print these, you just use like print true false. That's another thing, like when you're typing something out, if it comes up in this helpful thing right here, if you push tab, it'll actually auto finish it for you. So and you can use arrow keys to pick which one. Just hit tab and I'll just do it for you. But you can't, but with a list, if you just want one value, you can go like this. You can put some brackets and just do like 0, and it'll print position 0. And then with an array, it doesn't start at 1, it starts at 0. So this string right here, string, is at position 0. The next one, position 1, position 2, and position 3. What the heck? And so keep that in mind, that if you want to print out or get the first value, it's not 1, it's 0. And so this will print out string, and then we'll do another one, print pi list. Let's do position 3. And then it's actually, let's just comment this stuff out. I'm pretty sure you can do it up here. Yeah. So if you highlight an area and just click up here, it'll comment all of that whole block out for you. Yeah, so let's run this. So yeah, we print our boolean first. We get false. We print our float 1.5. The first position in our array, which is string, and we get string, and then our third position which is this weird little mad face. And so there's some basic variables and whatnot, and some loops that you can mess around with. And then like, let's get rid of a lot of this crap. Yeah, so, and then with like a while loop, you can also make some variables here. None equals 1, and none equals 10. And with your while loops and for loops and whatever else, you can actually have things called nested, like if statements or nested loops. and so you can stick code inside a loop. It's called nested. Oh shoot. Sorry, I'm having trouble, and I don't have my keyboard right now. I'm just working on my laptop, so I'm having issues. Oh shoot. 1, 2. 1 not equal num 2. So well, num1 is not equal to num2. And then down here we can do if num1 equals 5, print num1 is 5. And then like even inside if statements you can have like other if statements or while loops. You just put them in, and then like if num2 equals 9, then print do stuff. So yeah, you can have nested while loops, for loops, if statements, can throw in some else if statements, but make sure that you have indents in between every single one to specify that this if statement is its own if statement. Like, it's not out here. It's going to be inside this if statement. It's out here, it'll actually break, and it'll think that it's not inside here, so you need that indent. Oh, and then that's another thing with if statements that I forgot to mention. You can have multiples, so like if you want to check multiple things every single time and you don't want it to, like with an else if statement, if the first if is true, then the elif, it won't check the elif statement. It'll just skip that. And so if you want to check like if num equals 5 and if num equals 2, then you want 2 if statements, and this is exactly how you do it. But for now we're going to do it like that. And then now we need to make sure we don't make an infinite loop, and so let's add num1 plus equals 1. So again, the plus equals just means we're adding this amount to this variable. Okay, so let's run this, see what happens. So we get num equals 5, and the program ends because we successfully made a while loop that is not infinite, which is very, very good. We do not want infinite while loops because it breaks programs. Okay, well, I think that's about it that I wanted to talk about this time. So, in upcoming videos, I'm actually, so besides programming, we're done talking about programming in this video. So in upcoming videos, I'm going to make a series just around programming tips. Not like any specific language, just overall tips that will help you in multiple languages, and just about any language, and learning about programming or anything like that. And also like in detailed stuff about programming, about like how it works with the computer and whatnot. And so I think that'd be a really good resource, and it'd be really fun to make that series, so I'm probably going to do it. And then there's one other thing. Okay, so yeah, I just remembered. Another thing is, I may make videos for server type stuff, for like hosting web servers and port forwarding, like for Minecraft servers and Terraria servers and stuff like that, and also like setting up your own email for your website and stuff, just stuff like that, and getting domains and good places to do this stuff. But yeah, like you can do that stuff all by yourself, and it's really not that difficult. The one thing is, I'll actually be doing it on Linux, so I don't know, like if it'd be a good idea, because I don't know how many of you people have access to Linux. But if you're interested in that, tell me in the description, or no, the comments, and if there's enough people, then I will do a series on that type of stuff. And then also another thing I am also possibly thinking about doing is Bash scripting. It's in Linux. It's kind of like Windows commands, if you know what that is, and like batch files, if you know what those are. But basically, they're in Linux. There you have Bash, and it's a local programming language, scripting language, that you can have run commands and like check system configs and a whole bunch of stuff, and like you can make little programs with them. So if that sounds interesting, also please tell me in the comments that you're interested in that, and then if I get enough people that are interested in that, then at some point I will make a series on that too. So that's everything. I'm really excited about making these series, because I'm really getting excited for it, because it's really I'm starting to get a lot of views and stuff, and so I'm getting really hyped up. And so yeah, if you like this video, please give me a like, and if you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel so you can check out the upcoming videos and get more information on programming. So see you next time.